Hi, everyone, and welcome to Confessions of an Autism Mom. So, y'all, I tried to go live and it did not work. I don't know what happened. I'm going to have to do like some reading and research. And then we tried to go live on like multiple sites and we got a lot of feedback with the volume. So, we're just going to record and chit chat because there was a lot of things that happened in the autism community that I feel like is very important for us to talk about as autism moms and just give our point of view. So we're just going to take a moment. I think we got wine, red cups, water. I don't know. Everybody got something. So we are just going to chit chat, have a little girl talk, a little wine, and talk about some of the comments that Robert F. Kennedy made this week. So yeah, let's jump right into that. All right. Hi ladies, how are y'all doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Hey.
And so you all, these are my moms from my first season who are like now my friends. Ashley and I went to high school together. Sade, I met on TikTok and she did her interview on the podcast, which was amazing. And Mama Niche did the same thing and she was amazing. And I have still been keeping in contact with the ladies. We actually have a group where we get on and support each other. Well, twice a month. I plan for it to be once a month, but it's very refreshing. And we have a private group chat. So yeah, I have developed a relationship with these moms. So these are my autism mom friends, and we are gonna chit chat and talk. Um, so y'all know it's been a lot going on in the community. The autism community is to me is always like divided, but I feel like since RFK's comments, it's even more divided. He pretty much just added fuel to the fire. And how do y'all feel about the statements? And we're gonna take it one by one statement because he made a lot of statements, and I'm gonna pull up a couple of videos that I thought were very interesting, like people's point of view. But I do want to start by getting you all's point of view and what you all thought. Sade?
Um, yeah.
I'm sorry, I hit you and I didn't even see him doing that.
That's
Funny.
okay. He came out of nowhere. Thank you, Catherine. Oh my goodness. It's just a lot of chaos. So yeah.
I'm gonna say I was highly offended. So
Ashley?
A lot of chaos. Yeah.
Um, I say I was offended too, especially with the things that when he said things they're not going to be able to do. Like you can't predict what somebody's going to be able to do based off of a diagnosis, and kind of like a foreign species. That's how he was talking about it, the way he worded things.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was confused. I was upset for like a lot of
Yes.
different reasons. The biggest thing I was confused about was I feel like I don't know if this is true, but I thought that they practice these speeches in front of somebody. I'm not sure, but they don't do that.
because none of these people are politicians, I
But
feel like they don't. practice their speeches in front of people, and if they do, they practice them in front of other idiots. I mean,
And that's the thing. And I'm like, nobody decided to tell him not to say that. That was my. I was like, wait a minute, because I watched it the next day, and I was like, you mean to tell me nobody told him he sounded stupid when he recited it with, I guess the group in a meeting? I don't know how they do it, but I was very like hurt. And it also hurt because I felt like everything that we talk about gave people who don't believe us when we say our kids accomplish things. It kind of was like, oh, they are liars. Like, he made us seem like liars because I feel like people will believe him quicker than a parent because that's what they have been looking for. They have been looking for a reason to say, like, oh, yeah, they are, per se slow or they don't know anything and they not smart. So I felt like he just kind of added fuel to that fire to people who think less of the kids and the people in the autism community.
I agree. It's just really sad, and I don't know. It's people just have no empathy, sympathy, compassion, heart, nothing. Like I just don't understand like how you're okay with just saying things like that, and then like it. I don't know.
I get what you're saying. I'm gonna pull up some of his statements. And I'm sorry about Aiden in the background making all that noise.
honey, we all have like the reason that I'm muted and not saying much is because my child is trying to read a book.
Yes.
Plus, Paw Patrol is on in the background. I mean,
I think Ashley is the only one who has like the quiet house right now.
He sleep.
that's because he sleep. That's
Yep.
if she
Y'all,
was asleep, it would be a totally different ball game.
Yeah, he sleep.
That
He
TV been
know
on so
8:30. It's
yeah,
time to go to bed.
yeah.
my question is, do y'all think it's a reason he's picking autism? I don't think it's because it's Autism Awareness Month.
No, he's fixated on vaccines.
Okay.
That's his thing. He's fixated on vaccines, and he's one of the people that believe that vaccines cause autism, and I do not agree. So
So what do you think he's going to say in September after all his scientists do like their research? What do you think is going to
I mean,
come to
that's
the
not enough
conclusion?
research for what you telling me 6 months worth of research is enough research for them to figure out anything about autism.
I don't think so.
And then who's to
I mean,
say that they're not even coming up with their
yeah.
own
What
theories?
what degree does he have to? What does he do in science and medicine and all of that? What does he do? Because I'm a nurse and I studied some things, so I just would like to know what degree. Where is he getting his information from?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about this little 5 months
Yeah.
of study. And you know how all of the sciences they have worked since, I would say they've known about it, or people that's played in the background, how they have like just really studied like autism and the cause, and then they told us it was genetics and different other things, and like what they're missing. Like we know they're missing glutathione, things like that. And it's like he's coming in and basically like, oh, I'm gonna tell y'all something in the next 5 to 6 months. And it's like, what are you gonna tell us?
My
So
thing
So
is,
it's like, what about
are you gonna provide resources when you in the next 6 months for parents that don't have the answers, especially new parents that
exactly?
feel lost, confused, they don't know
Hmm.
what to do. How can these services be covered, especially for those that don't have access to medical insurance?
Oh, I think she froze on us. Sorry, y'all. I'm doing a lot of moving around because my child is like right here.
was it me? Did I freeze?
No, it's Ashley that froze.
Oh,
Or
she's
some,
gone. She's still there. She'll come back in.
yeah, she was
So
talking and then it's like she froze.
so he it came out back in February. They were talking about the rates and they said that it was 1 in 36 kids, and now they're saying 1 in 31 kids. How y'all feel about that?
I mean, I know that's true. That's from research. They're counting the numbers from 2022. Like that's as of 2022. Right.
Okay.
That's research as of 2022. Right. So every few
Mm.
years they do research and it's based on a certain amount of years. And then they take that and you're kind of stuck with that because they have to do more research for the next couple years. And so that's how they got that 1 in 31. That's as of 2022. Right. So that 1 in 36 was as of, I think that was even before 2020. I'll have to log in tomorrow.
I have to use my phone because it's not doing. Y'all don't think it's probably like 1 in 25 or 1 in 26?
I
Because I
think
was,
it's undiagnosed, right? Is
yeah,
it could be undiagnosed because people also like him, right? Some people are in denial, and I've heard and seen instances where parents won't get their children diagnosed for anything, but then they're in like the
Mhm.
PPCD programs at the school,
yeah.
but they won't get them diagnosed with anything.
Yeah.
And that's
So
what I think about the kids
and
that
so you
are
have to think about that as well, because there are people who really don't think it's a thing. Like it's,
right.
or they are scared for that to be the case. Like I know someone who told me that she, in the back of her brain, she knew her son, something was wrong, but she did not get him diagnosed until he was 5. And she knew since he was like 1. So that's 4 years of not having any type of therapy, no diagnosis, anything. And then what about the people who didn't know, right? So it's
And
just a
then it's
matter
like, what
of,
about the ones, like the adults who
right.
grew up with it, and the teenagers? Like, yeah, it's even just taking it back further. It was so many of them that were put in. I was watching this video where a lot of them in different states were like institutionalized because they were saying that they were like the devil, and oh, something's wrong with them. Like, they just weren't treated the best back then. So it's crazy. Like, I feel like they just making up these numbers. I feel like they don't know.
I don't
And
think
you
they know
possibly can't
either.
know, like she said. I don't think they really truly know.
I, I'm not gonna say that. But y'all remember that girl was on went viral on TikTok. She said that her daughter had a demon in her and she was autistic and God delivered her daughter.
Hmm.
We were
Yeah.
talking about that the other
First of
Mhm.
day.
all, I never seen the video or anything. I
Uh-huh.
just heard about it because other people talked about it, but I don't have no comment.
She got a whole page that talks about it.
Yeah, I don't want to read. I don't want.
Hmm.
Yes.
I'm
Wait,
not
she got
gonna
a whole
add any
page?
views to her. I'm not gonna add any views, whether they're
Mm-hmm.
negative or not, to her page. I
It
won't.
pops up on my For You page. So, like, I seen the first one, and
Oh wow.
then I think about maybe 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
I seen another video that she posted
Mm-mm.
and stuff. And I'm not knocking God's power or anything, but because He does have the final say so. But
Amen.
I don't think that my child has a demon
At
spirit
all.
inside of
Right.
him. So, I
At
mean,
all.
that's what I take offense to.
Yeah. I'm not knocking the
Yeah.
power
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
got
agree with
he
you.
the end all be all.
Mm-hmm.
So for
Mhm.
me, out of to each their own.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm helping you.
Yeah, I thought that was weird, but I've seen quite a few stories. Like I watch a lot of true crime. Like that's how I get my life together. And it's a lot of people that think like no, I'm serious. It's so weird how much true crime I watch. And it's a lot of kids that are on the spectrum too that are, you know, get unalived and are in these videos. And I know it was one episode that I watched. This lady, she actually unalived her son, and the dad said he had autism, but she said he was a demon. So it's really people that think that, and I think that's what upsetted me so much with RFK's comments, because as Nish, you know, you mentioned earlier that a lot of parents are in denial, and like you're just fueling, in my opinion, their denial. like like
Mhm.
he's just making everything worse than what it like needs to be. I don't know. It just was very weird for him to think it was okay to say that stuff. So let's talk about some of the stuff that he did say. So the first thing he said was that autism destroys families. I ain't got no family. My family was destroyed before the autism diagnosis. So I don't agree with
Hello.
it. Hello, okay. My family was destroyed before the diagnosis, so I can't even agree with that on any levels. Like I feel like I don't know what he was trying to say,
I don't
but
understand what he was trying to say.
at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things I don't know. I have a family, so I can't say,
Right.
right? I have a family, and my daughter has had this diagnosis for 2.5, 2 years now. She was 2.5. She's 4.5, so 2 years now. We're still here, still married, still just celebrated our 6 year wedding anniversary and 7 years of being together, and we are still rocking. So I don't know. What
Mhm.
is he saying? I don't know. And I don't know. I don't have anyone to talk to that is.
Yeah.
I have a friend in Chicago. She's still married. She's married. Well, they weren't married when they had their son, but they got married. And their son has autism and they are still married and they are, living their lives. So I don't know what he means by destroying families. I have no idea.
That is so weird. And not only that, it's like for me and my family, not with a man, but just like my aunts, my mom, like my child has brought us closer together, and just wanting understanding and them accepting him and understanding him. And it makes me wonder when
Mhm.
people say, oh, I don't have support from my family, like is that what he's talking, like I'm trying to figure out, is that what he's talking about? Because not having support and destroying, that's like two different things.
Two different things. Yeah. Two different
Yeah, you're
things.
right. You're right. Maybe
Destroy is a
he
destroy is a strong
exactly.
word. Like maybe he's on the
Exactly.
spectrum. I don't know.
That's not funny, but it's funny. Sorry.
That's not funny, but it really is. And I wonder, does he have someone that's on the spectrum? While, like you say, he's fascinated with vaccines, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering, like, do you have somebody that's on the spectrum that you're really trying to get to the bottom of it, or is it like, what's the reason? And I don't think he'll
Yeah.
ever be able to tell us. Um,
Yeah, I don't
so
so for me destroy means like completely ruined,
yeah,
not
Yeah.
able to be repaired, put it into
Yeah.
something like a fire happened to my house and it's completely destroyed, right? Like
no
Mhm.
rebuilding.
no rebuilding it. I have to build from the ground up
Yeah.
and start all over. Um, that's what destroyed means
Hey,
to
what I said,
me.
maybe change the dynamic, maybe, or
I mean, but
but destroy.
that's life in
That's pretty
general.
heavy. Like, yeah,
That if
uh,
having kids in general. So if I have one child and then I turn around and have a
yeah.
second child and I'm married, that's
It
gonna change the
changes.
dynamic
Yeah,
in our family anyway.
regardless.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
So then he said that autism is an epidemic. And I that one offended me the most. Like that really offended me the most because when I think of like of epidemic, I think of other diseases, and y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't know the rules on YouTube of saying certain things, but I think of other diseases, and it's like, oh, if somebody's around my son, he can catch it, and that can
Mm-hmm.
start within itself. Like, oh, it's already hard for them to make friends, you know, and it can easily be as I don't want to be around him because he's sick, and it's not that. So I took offense to that a lot.
It's
So
like talking about a communicable disease, like
Yeah.
something you could catch for real.
catch.
I mean, I know there's like right, they say like opioid epidemic,
Yeah.
stuff like that, but
He made it seem like it was a disease, pretty much. Like, I don't know. It was his whole talk or whatever y'all want to call it. It was just very weird. And then he also did an interview on CNN, and he said that he's 71, of course. He mentioned that he did not see autism back in the day when he was growing up. That's
oh,
what he
because they shunned those people and like
Yeah.
hid them and didn't bring them out into the world and hey
I
baby.
agree. Because when I think of him, I think of wealthy. Like, he comes from a wealthy family, you know? So the type of people he would have been around would have been like other wealthy, upper class,
Mm-hmm.
white people. And they probably were putting their kids in the institutes, and like you say, hiding them. So I don't feel like that's fair for him to say. Do y'all think though that it has been an increase though? Or do you think it's like the same
I
amount,
think
just
um
undiagnosed?
I think it's autism has became like the umbrella for a lot of other things. Like
Yeah.
I feel like they're throwing other things under autism because I've worked with kids who didn't have autism but they had a speech delay. Or maybe they didn't process information as quick as the other kids did. But it's
Yeah.
like now, oh, you have autism. Oh, that's autism. Oh, we're gonna put that under autism, and it's just like, no, it's just a simple speech delay, and then the child is good. Or
Yeah.
no, they just process a little bit differently. So I feel like they're just using autism as like this. Everything is just under, That's what I feel. Because from
Yeah.
what I've seen working with kids personally who have autism, elementary, middle, and high school, and just seeing
Yeah.
how I see the difference when in a regular public school when a child is processing a little bit slower than a child who really has it, and
Has
really
it.
has a
Yeah.
lot of issues. So I really feel like, in my opinion, that they're just throwing every little thing under autism. And I think that's what's making it seem like every child has autism when it's simply probably just something else.
Yeah. I agree.
I'll also say that they are doing more research than they did in the past. And
Okay.
so that's leading to more, finding out more information. I'm gonna be honest with you, my pediatrician was so like I had to pretty much force her to get me in about I got my own evaluation.
For
I got my
yourself?
own for my daughter. For my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. I just my because my pediatrician was like, oh, I don't really think it's any, Is anything wrong?
Yeah.
She wasn't talking at
Mine was
all.
the mine was the opposite. She
Uh,
was like, "No, you need to go get him tested." And she said that like when he was 1. I
yeah,
was the one that was kind of like, "Oh, well, let me wait," cuz my mom was like, "Boys they tend to develop slower than girls, so just wait." But in the back of my mind, I always had that feeling and
Mhm.
stuff. I
Mhm.
don't know, it just seems like me, I think ever since the pandemic, and it seems like everyone's becoming more aware of it because it's such a huge influx of kids having speech delays or like you were saying the autism diagnosis and ADHD, all of these
Mhm.
things that are happening since the pandemic. It's like a steady increase of it. And so now people are becoming more aware of it. And you do have some that are advocates. And then you just have some, like Sade said, they just putting it all up under the autism umbrella now. Why? I don't know where it sparked from
Yeah.
um, for them to just use that um, to say that. But it's interesting to see those numbers.
It's like, but what can we do?
Right.
If we just really don't,
We don't know.
we don't
Yeah.
know.
yeah.
But
Right.
I don't think it's a lot of them. But I do like my mom. Like now we have Aiden, and she reads a lot now. Things pertaining to autism and certain things she can like recognize. And she always tell me like, oh, I remember back in the day, this person, they didn't talk for the longest and then they just started talking, but they had a certain
Mhm.
tone to the way, like that script that they have. She was like, they have like that certain tone or whatever. Then she say she know kids that didn't start talking till they were like 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think about the kids at school who were different, like the emo
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
kids. I always
Yeah.
think about them
I think about that too. Even
Yeah.
all
my,
the
there
time.
was a neighbor I had when I was in high school, and he was really quiet. I even had a class with him twice, and
Mhm.
like would see him, he's just really quiet. I was like, either he he was racist and didn't like my black, butt, or he, or she trying to cover my mouth. She don't want me to talk, y'all. She trying to cover it. Or like now I think like, huh, you know.
Yeah.
Now I think like I look at him so like my brain thinks back to him
Right. Right.
all the time, and he probably like this girl is crazy. Like if he find me on the internet, he gonna be like, "What is she talking about?" But I remember, and then I remember it was this guy, and he was in the special education class, like in high school, the alternative
Mhm.
Yeah.
class. He lived like really close to me, and he had this. He was different, and I thought that he was in that class because he was bad, like had a behavior problem.
Yeah.
But now looking back, I'm like, I don't think it was a behavior problem. I think it was like because he used
Mhm.
to. Hi TT. Those not your. They could be your TTs. They're your virtual TTs. But he used to do stuff that like was I considered it weird, but like he would be like if I stayed late after school and all that, he had a crush on me. So and my mom loved him. Jesus. Uh, but if I stayed late after school, I would come home and he would be there in the kitchen with my mama talking to her. And I
Oh
was
my
like, what is
goodness.
wrong with this weird dude? Like,
Yeah.
and now I think back and I'm like, he wasn't weird. Like
Uh-huh.
he wasn't weird. He just didn't know that like boundaries.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He didn't understand boundaries. Because even I asked him, I was like, why would you do that? I'm not even home. Like, why would you sit here and wait for me?
Right.
Like, he had this huge crush on me, and I just used to be. I feel bad because I feel like I treated him bad, but not. It wasn't horrible because even like by the time I graduated, he was gone already because he was a year older than me. But
Right.
I don't know what happened to him. But I think about those people
I
now
think about them all the
all
time.
the
I
time,
just really do.
all the time,
And
and I'm
I'm
like, wow, what would I, you know?
Yeah, and my mom used to be like, "Oh, be nice to them because you don't want them
Mhm,
to do anything to you." And
mhm.
Mhm.
I'm like, "You were judging them, and ain't no telling. They probably really, was somewhere." Ashley is laughing because we were talking about this the other night. We just had this conversation, but it's like she used to tell me to be nice to them because you don't want them to hurt you, and I'm like, I don't think they will, but
They
I'll be
not
nice.
gonna hurt you.
Yeah, yeah. And
Sweetest.
now that I
They
think
were
about it,
super
I'm like,
sweet. Both
yeah,
like the guys, both of the guys, they were super nice. So that's why I was like I think about that because Zoe is like so loving and like
yeah,
she doesn't have that boundary, that space. Like she
at
even
all
right at all. She doesn't understand. She
personal
used to be
space.
terrified of like strangers for real, but now she think
Mhm.
everyone like if she see a black man with dreads that's tall, she think it's that. Thing is that, and I'm like,
Oh,
you can't do that at all. So,
It is like
but
that.
she
it's
just so
just
it's
sad.
they're
Okay.
usually sweet. They usually are sweet, and you
They are.
even the ones that have behaviors, the
Mhm.
aggressive behaviors where they doing stuff, it's because they can't
They
communicate what they need.
communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can't communicate.
They can't communicate because I seen it even with her. Like before she could, y'all hear her talking now, but she wasn't saying nothing. And we
She's
was in
doing
this kitchen.
amazing.
Yeah, we was in this kitchen crying together because I was like, I don't know what's wrong.
Mhm.
I have no idea. I thought I had done everything that I could to. I was like, what's wrong? You sleepy? You hungry? Like what is wrong?
Yeah.
And I just I just feel like everyone with autism is sweet.
They
They
So
are.
are.
They
Yeah.
are.
you
Cause
know,
I think back, like it's a few times I've been in a grocery store, and my God, I'm so glad I've changed. My child humbled me. Like I feel like I get my karma back. But it used to be like guys at the grocery store, and they would just be standing in front of like the frozen food door. And they would just be standing there. And I'll be like, hey, excuse me. And they wouldn't move. And I would be on the phone with mama. I'm like, it's this man in here, and he just so rude. He in the way. Now I gotta come back over here. Like I would be going off. But now that I understand my y'all, I was horrible. And it happened more than once. It happened a lot. It used to be like, why are you just standing in front of this door? I need to get some waffles or some ice cream, and you're in my
Mhm.
way. Like, can you move? And now that I sit back and think about it, I apologize to whoever those two men were that I thought were being rude to me. So I did not choose kindness, and it's like it's possible that they could have been on the spectrum because they were taking their time. Because I watch how Aiden take his time with everything because he's looking at detail and trying to make a decision. And I didn't realize like that's probably what they were doing. They weren't catching on to the social cues of me needing to get something. So let me move over so she can get what she needs and I can keep doing what I'm doing. And I feel bad now, but I always think about like autism has been around. It's just we didn't know because it wasn't talked about like that.
Yeah. I
That was
just they
me
used
with
to
the
just yeah.
Go ahead,
Now I was
Shadasia.
going to say they used to use the R word, and I used to be
Oh
like, what?
yeah.
Yeah, and I used to be like, what? Because I'm like in elementary and middle school, they would separate them. Like at my schools, they would have them like on the third floor. Like they would have that whole floor, and the rest of us would be on the other floor. So we didn't see them. So we didn't see when they would come in, and we didn't see when they would go home. So it was never really no inclusion. So it was like we didn't know. Like when I came across one of them, like randomly, just roaming the hallway, and I was a little scared because I was like, "Hold on, where you come from?"
Right.
Hmm.
And I was just like, "Okay." My high school, they had a separate building. We had two buildings. They were in the other building across the lot, and we never seen them go in. We never seen them go home. I didn't even know that they were there. So it was very interesting because I was like, okay, you would think that they would have them come to our building and have lunch with us and go in the library with us. They never included them with us.
Hmm.
Mm.
So
It's just
I didn't
like at
see
the
it.
grocery stores. Like before I had my child, hearing the kids screaming at the top of their lungs, meltdowns, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, if they don't
Yes.
get their child,
Yes.
now it's my kid doing it.
Right.
And then I'm getting the stares, and the ones that I was given, like, you need to get your kid. And it's kind of like, dang. Because I know one time Silas was having like a complete meltdown, and it's because he accidentally dropped one of his letters in my bag, but I didn't know that. I was just trying to get in and out, and he's like flipping out. And then it's this lady that comes around the corner. She was like, "Oh my God!" I said, "I know, oh my God," and stuff. And she was like, "Oh," and stuff. And I'm like, "Dang, that used to be me."
Uh huh.
Saying that about somebody else's kid, not knowing maybe their child was having a meltdown, maybe they were overstimulated, or maybe it was something that they needed. He simply just wanted the letter that he accidentally dropped in my bag. Had I known that, he never would have had the meltdown and stuff. So it just makes you think about those moments where we quickly judged
Yeah.
other people and their parenting and their kids, not knowing that maybe they probably were on the spectrum, or maybe it was something else.
I used to
Cause
judge
you
That's
know
people
who I
too.
true.
used,
So,
yeah. Cause you know who I used to judge real bad? Them parents that used to have them kids on them harness and them leashes.
Me too.
oh, now give me two of those, please.
Yes,
Listen,
Yep.
okay,
please,
I
please.
was one of
I
them
don't like
cars.
taking her to the
Yes.
store. When was it Brittany saying she went to Walmart,
Uh huh.
and I was like, girl, I'm not taking Zoe in this.
Listen.
It's not that I now it's a little bit better, but I have to go in with an intention. Like I can't go in
Hmm.
there. I used to be able to like go down every aisle in the store and look at all the clearance stuff and do like I
Mm-hmm.
literally was shopping, you know. Now it's a hey, now it's a whole I have to have a plan. What am I going in here for? Where is it located in this store? We can't just be browsing around because even we went to Kohl's to look for her some clothes, and I promise you we couldn't finish looking because she was cutting up, and my husband was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, get out! We got to get out of here." She
Cause
running all
even
down the thing and crying, and I was like, let's go, baby, let's go." This
Yep.
she was
I've
overstimulated. Is
I've
the
learned my
store is
lesson.
overstimulating for her? It's too many.
yeah.
It's too many things in there.
Yep.
It's bright. It's all. She's like, no, I don't want to be in here.
I had a day out with my son, just me and him, because I wanted to give him some time. And let me say that was the last day out we had for a long time. I let him take one shoe because he loves his shoes. He's obsessed with shoes. I let him take one, and I had a backpack of like his favorite things. Uh, he eloped like 5 different times. I'm literally running behind him in these stores outside. People were looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm yelling like, "Stop him! Like this is a time I need somebody to step in and block
Yeah.
him and stop him. If you see a little kid running, towards the door or towards the street, stop him." So you would think they would, right? People
They
looking
don't
at me
have
like I'm
no. They don't
crazy,
care.
No.
They do not
They
and
care.
they're like,
look.
"Oh, her child is just
They do
bad. He
not
just
care.
running off." So I've had a lot of those moments where I was just like, you know what, this is just too stressful. I can't. I don't. I didn't even enjoy. To this day, I kind of have a little bit of PTSD when I go to stores.
Hmm.
Like I don't even
I do
enjoy
too.
I
walking
do too.
around because it's
Yeah.
like
I
I get
can't
that
take. That's why I
anxiety
don't take
and
her with me
yeah,
because she eloped at Target
yeah.
one day, and I was like, That was like maybe almost 2 years ago. I don't know. It was almost 2 years. It was about a year and a half ago, maybe. And she eloped, and I even left. I left my cell phone, y'all,
You
in the
see how they
Target
have
cart.
us?
In the Target cart, I
Oh
left
my
it,
goodness.
and thank God my watch pinged because I
Hmm.
got her in the car, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Thank God my watch pinged and was like, you left your cell phone behind, and I was like,
Oh,
oh.
They really have our they have our mind messed
And
up.
so I was like, I can't even believe. Here's the thing. I couldn't believe that I didn't notice because my car has like an automatic Bluetooth CarPlay,
Hmm.
and it didn't. I didn't even look
didn't
to
even connect.
see. I didn't even look to see that it wasn't connected because I was so distraught, and I
Yeah.
was just like, I can't believe that. And so after that, her developmental pediatrician gave me a handicap placard so we could be closer to the
Store.
door and just little stuff like that. But she eloped at at the ABA at
Yeah.
the school when we the first year, the first when I first tried school.
Uh-huh.
Now thank God they on the closed grounds, like it's.
Yeah.
But she darted across the playground and was almost underneath, was almost to the gate.
Oh my
They got
goodness.
like a little softball area. She was all the way over there. They said.
They so
Yeah,
fast.
and I told
They
them, I was
fast,
like,
yeah.
it's gonna come when you least expect it. I said,
Yes.
she doesn't
Wait,
do it
yes.
all the time. She doesn't do it all the time, but she does it because there's some kids that do it all the time.
Yeah.
It comes when you least expect it because she even did it at the ABA center. She darted out and one of the therapists grabbed her. I just was like, I can't go anywhere. I was terrified to leave the house.
Yeah.
Like on the
Yeah, I learned
weekend,
I
Yeah.
I
have
was
to
terrified.
grab mine. I can't hold his hand. I learned
Hmm.
from the mom. I think her Instagram is Moments of Joy. She was like, get them by
Oh
their
yeah,
wrists.
I follow
Yeah,
her.
and that's what I
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
do.
like that.
I'm holding your
yeah.
wrist.
No, she's
Yeah.
here in Houston. Yeah.
I remember I
Um,
got mad. We were at Target. Target must be the spot.
it's too bright in there.
Target must be the
Well,
spot.
it ain't the spot no more. Not for me.
Mine
I
cut up
mean,
in Walmart.
to each their own, but it's not the spot no more. I ain't been there since January, but my pocket's probably happy about
They
that.
probably are because I'll be showing out in Target. I ain't gonna lie. But it was this guy in Target. He was so handsome. And Aiden jumped out of the buggy, y'all, and took like he was in the front and he went to the back. And I was like, don't do it. Just go ahead and sit down, Aiden. I was like, sit down, Aiden. So the guy looking at me and Aiden slowly just like tipping out of the back of the buggy, right? And I said, Aiden, please don't do it. And Aiden took some cheese. And I'm like, yeah, please don't jump out the buggy. And I tried to grab him. Y'all, Aiden took off, ran next to the man. The man looking at Aiden and looking at me. I'm like, can you get him? Get him. Like, grab him.
That's
And he was
because
like,
I
"Oh, you
think
want me to
that
get him?
people are
Please, can you
traumatized.
help?" And he ran and got him. But it's kind of like I don't want people to mind their business when they see my child running.
Yes.
Right.
Like,
Please intervene. Please.
Yeah.
please, just and while you looking at me, go get my child. Can
Right.
you? Like,
I was
he's like,
like,
you want? I mean, he comes back with them. Well, I didn't know you wanted me to get him. People are sensitive about his about their kids, and I'm like, in this case, I'm not sensitive. Go get my child.
yeah.
And
I think
Aiden
that
sat in
has
the
gone out the window. Like if we out in public and you see my
uh-huh.
child running and you see me running after,
Whoa,
please help.
And
help
listen,
me.
I have a bad knee, and I be praying to God like, let me catch this child before my knee give out, okay?
Mhm.
Because it's gonna be a whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
just
Mhm.
like,
didn't
oh
had
my God, like
And I've had to grab Aiden by the like back of his shirt. People are looking at me crazy. And I'm like, this isn't abuse. I'm just gathering my child, you know. And it's weird because people don't understand. And I just Target is the place where my child elopes the most. Anywhere else he cool, but Target, it's something about them buggies and him escaping. Um,
You gotta start by Starbucks.
uh-uh. Cause he be wanting that pound cake.
Oh,
Oh
mine
Yeah,
my
like the
I used
cake
to
goodness.
start
pops.
by
Mine like the
Starbucks so
cake
I could get
pops.
her a cake pop.
That's
Yeah.
the cake, the Target dog cake pop. He
Yeah,
gotta get. He
I
already
get a
know
cake pop,
the
and then
routine.
I
You
give me
gonna
an
start
iced
by
coffee,
Starbucks.
and then we're like, okay, let's go.
So him linking autism with vaccines, right? And we're gonna talk about two more things and we're gonna be done. But how do y'all feel about him linking it to vaccines? Because I don't know. How do y'all feel about that?
I'm so like I mentioned, I work with kids and a whole autism. Kennedy Krieger here will be it caters strictly to kids with autism of all ages. A lot of them, I was telling you during our interview, are inpatient, so they don't go home.
Right.
So they live
Hmm.
there. So a lot of them that I've come across have never been vaccinated and have the most severe form of
Yeah.
autism. Like the most severe to the point where they had to be chained down, like very physical and aggressive, never been vaccinated. And they come from all over the world.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I can
I mean,
say
that's
from
what I was gonna say. Like,
you know,
they don't.
eh,
So here's the thing: autism isn't just in America,
Right.
okay?
exactly.
Or
Exactly.
I'm say this isn't just in the United States because we're talking
Exactly.
about the United States.
Yes.
Right.
In the world, there are autistic people everywhere,
Yes.
right?
Right.
The reason why it may be more prevalent per se here is because we have Western medicine,
Mm-hmm.
which research, it's money
Right.
in research. But
Okay.
there are autistic people everywhere, and they don't have
Mm,
they don't get the same vaccines we get.
That's that's true.
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
That's true.
Because my husband is from a whole nother country, and he did not have any of those vaccines until he got here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell me he's never seen someone that's autistic. Do
Mm-hmm.
they do things differently in other countries than we do here? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that's why the rates are. I just interviewed a mom and where she's from, she called she said autism is considered taboo. So they don't talk about it.
Right.
And if they can like hide it, or as they use the term mask, they're
Hmm.
gonna mask it and not say anything or tell anyone. And I've
Hmm.
heard that in quite a few communities that have cultural differences, like China, like the Asian area. Like I talked to one mom, her husband was supposed to go, I think, to Japan, but they couldn't go because they don't even provide services for
Hmm.
kids on the spectrum over there, because they don't believe in that. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like we really don't know how many kids over there may have autism. They just don't talk about it or claim it, you know? So,
Yeah, my husband said the same thing. In his country,
yeah,
they don't really talk about it. He knows that there are probably people with autism, but
Mm-hmm.
they didn't talk about it. You know,
yeah.
they send them to go live with the elders.
Mm.
Like sometimes they send them to go live with the elders, or like.
What does that do? Live with elders, you know? Never said it.
No, no idea. Maybe to teach them. Maybe they have more patience. Maybe they can make some
Probably more
changes.
patient.
Yeah.
That's why I make it clear, like with my son, even during ABA, Like I let them know all the time, if he wants to get up and do something, to allow it, because I don't want him to learn how to mask that at such an early age, and it
Yeah.
affects him as he gets older. I want him to really be able to feel what he's feeling and do what he wants to do in that moment, without feeling like, oh, if I do this, people are gonna look at me weird, or I need to be this way. I don't want him to, because they have feelings, and I don't want him to get older and become insecure, or um feeling like that he's like the weird one, or
Right.
he's already different based on society's standards. They're already different. They're already, according to societies. But I don't want him to feel like he has to mask that, and
Yeah.
you know, like, I want him to be who he is. So it's just interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. Ashley, I know you work with the program, the vocational program, right? With
Folk
is
rehab.
that yeah.
Mhm.
Cause he made the comment about they won't be able to work.
Yeah, so my old job, we and Voc Rehab is all over the United States, and it may be named differently, but it's a rehabilitation services for people that have physical, cognitive, or mental disabilities, where they assist with finding jobs for people that have disabilities. So that's inaccurate, because that's state funded program. I mean, they're getting their funding from the federal government, but they link you up with resources in the community to provide assistance for you to be able to work in the community. And with a lot of those job development programs that I've had meetings with, they're basically saying, we're not teaching the person with a disability how to work with others. We're actually teaching people that don't have a disability, learning how to work with people that have the disability,
Exactly.
because they don't have, most of them don't have the patience, they don't have the training. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like, if they do something that's not ordinary to you, you're going to want to either get rid of them that fast. So they're kind of like the middleman in between that, but they also teach those individuals strategies on how to work in those environments, so that way they can thrive in the community and not depend on their parents or social security, so they can live on their own. Because I've had some that said, I don't want to have SSI for the rest of my life. I actually
No, that's
want to
right.
have a job where I can make my own money. I've had some that said they don't want to live with their parents for the rest of their life. They want to get their own apartment and stuff. So I mean, that's false. What he's saying, so I don't know where he's getting that information from, because that's definitely false.
I think about the what's that show?
Love on a
Love
Love
on
spectrum.
the
on the
spectrum.
Spectrum. Yeah. And those
Yep.
people,
Oh,
they they want to live independent lives. And the
Mm-hmm.
ones that do, I love it for them.
Hmm.
I
You
did too.
know, I love that for them. I'm like, those people got jobs. Like most of them had jobs. Like I was looking, like the one girl had a job better than me.
No, really.
I
You be like, wait a
know.
minute.
And
Literally,
They have them.
Danny is like wealthy.
yeah. They got top
She got that
because they're
check.
smart, right? So I'm very that that hurt my heart that they would say
Yeah.
that's like saying someone that's blind
Mm-hmm.
or deaf
Yeah.
is not able to participate in this life and world just because of their one
Yeah.
small disability. That's not true. That's
And
not
I'm
true.
happy us
They're not
as
going to be productive citizens.
Right. That's
That's
how I
not
took it.
that's not true. That's not true.
Mhm.
And you don't know what one individual child life is going to bring.
yeah. Right.
And you could have a healthy child that does all the things and makes it all the way and graduates from college and all of that, and then they get sick
Something happened. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
and now they have a permanent disability
Yep.
Well,
that
Holly Robinson
or
Pete, she been going. She's
Yeah.
like she's
Yeah.
really been advocating.
Oh, I
Like I
seen.
think she just had a I think it was on CNN. I seen like a
Yeah.
clip on Instagram where she was
Mm-hmm.
talking about her son because she was told the nevers
Mm-hmm.
when her son was diagnosed, and her son is doing everything that they said he wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Same for Tony Braxton's son.
And he
Exactly.
has a job.
Yeah.
Right. Well, not even. It's a lady that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Dr. Danette
Danetta.
Taylor. Yeah,
Yeah, he
Danetta.
does well.
Her son,
He
what?
drives.
He got a job. He drives. He went to, I was like, and he's only 23,
He's
22 or 20.
22.
Yeah. He's young. He is young and doing these things
Well, yeah.
and doing them well. He's not ready to move out on his own yet, but he will. He will. Trust me, he will.
Oh,
At
he's
the
gonna be
rate
at her
he
house soon.
at the rate he is going, he's gonna be gone out of her house. Which is
Married,
a typical
everything.
teenage, like a typical, if you went to college and all that, right? Like I moved out of my mom's house when I was 22, 23. Like I was, yeah, and I was, and that was young because most of my other friends were still living at home with a parent.
Right.
I just chose to leave. You know, after I graduated and got a job, I was like, I'm out of here. But yeah, I don't. I like they're not going to be productive citizens of this world, and I that's
That's
a slap in the face to the parents.
yeah.
Slap in the
It's
face to
very
the parents
disrespectful.
who
Yeah.
are productive citizens
Yeah.
in this world
Who pay their
who
taxes and
pay their
everything else.
taxes.
Their taxes
That is
that he
that was.
said they weren't gonna be able to pay, and I'm like, well, can I have my taxes
But
back?
can I have my
Cause
money
Listen,
back?
can I
Can
have
I
my
get my
money
money
back?
back?
Because I'm
Because
raising
the amount
him.
of taxes they take out of our stuff, that's
listen.
on
Right.
salary. Okay.
Yes.
That's
And
how I
so
felt when he said that. I was like, well, can
I
I
was
have
like,
my money
excuse
back?
me?
Because I'm
Excuse
his
me.
guardian. Give
I
it
was
back
like, I
then.
should write a I
Right.
was I should write a nice nasty letter to that man.
Well, they've been
So,
eating them up. They've
I
been
know they
eating
have.
him up.
Yeah.
So
so
I wrote a nice nasty letter to the government before and I have no and guess what? They got it together after that. So I have
I
no problems writing it again.
Hmm. I just wish more things was like free also for like all of the kids who have different type of disabilities. Because why are we
Mhm.
fighting insurance companies? Why are we having to pay all of this money per hour just to receive help and assistance? It's just sad.
Yeah. It is.
yeah,
It's a
and that's
very
my
you know what my oh go ahead, Amanda.
oh, you can go.
You know what my insurance told me? It's funny. But it's not true. They had to do it. I was like, no, y'all have to provide a case manager for my daughter. She has a disability, a permanent disability. You have to provide a case manager for her, and I want to talk to one. I was mad. I called them. I was going off, and they were like, well, you know, it's for people that have like diabetes and heart failure. And I said, F that.
they
I said,
work. They do everything. They
I,
can.
that's what I was going. I was like, I have hypertension, and I just got to go to work every day.
Every day.
I don't need the case manager. My child does. And I was like, I'm a case manager. I know that my child needs a case manager. So after that, the girls, they was calling me. They was all calling me. And I haven't had nothing else denied since.
Hmm. I'm glad we're speaking up more, like, and we are the voices for our children. Because it's just sad to think of all of the kids before ours who had nobody to defend them or speak up for
Yeah.
them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
So I'm
still people
happy
that
that we
don't
are.
know.
Yeah.
It's still people that don't know.
Yeah. And I get that a lot on threads. A lot of older, I guess you may say, adults or teens that are on the spectrum. And they always compliment and tell me, like, I love what you do because my mom wasn't this supportive. Or they'll be like, I would have
Hmm.
loved to have you as a mom as a kid because my mom and dad, they thought the exact opposite of, how you speak about your son. Because I don't limit Aiden because of autism. I discipline him. I do all of the above, and I've been
Mhm.
called an ableist because of that. But it's kind of like I know my child's limit, and I wouldn't push him if I didn't think he could do it, you know? And it's not just me being like, oh, it's because I want you to do it because I see everybody else do it. Like, I don't force my son with academic stuff because right now he's not going to focus on that, and I'm not going to allow him to have a meltdown. So what we do right now, like we're on numbers 1 through 10. Before it was 1 through 5 because that's all he would sit down and do, you know. Now we
Mhm.
can get to 10.
Yes,
Like
Sade.
I'm just being honest. Like I'm not forcing him to do
Mhm.
anything, but I do praise and I recognize his strength. Um, but a lot of parents don't support their kids. It was one girl, she was like, my mama think I'm a my autism is from vaccines, and she calls me a curse. And I'm like, y'all really be talking to y'all children like that?
They crazy, girl.
Because I
God
could
don't like ugly.
never.
God don't
I
like
could
ugly.
never.
That
Like
mama
some of the
gonna need that child one day.
Mm-mm.
Trust me.
exactly.
Mhm.
And I always think
What I
about like,
do, though, mama gonna need that child one day.
yeah,
Based on what I do every day. All my patients 65 and older.
uh-huh.
And if they don't got no kids, Jesus.
Cause I
Or if
just
they estranged from their children, this is scary. It's sad. It's actually really sad.
so
So
I was looking for this video that I saw earlier out here. Oh, she pulled it down. Oh, they pulled it down. So in the video, she went viral. They really pulled that video down. So basically, she was talking about RFK, and she was basically saying that um don't think he's doing it to actually find a cause or reason why
Mm.
autism is happening. And she broke it down about how they're like targeting the schools, and people don't realize it affects our kids the most if it goes back to the state because it's going to release a lot of kids. I agree. She talked about how he's trying to say, oh, it's vaccines to target more kids, like a set, how would I say it? Like a set of kids. Like I guess she may be saying black kids or lower white class people, which didn't make sense to me because I see all types of kids on the spectrum at therapy. She also brought up like how they're saying that they can't contribute to society. They don't pay taxes, basically just naming all the things. And so she said, think about what Hitler did when he got rid of people. I don't like to think that far because I'm like, can't nobody kill my baby without eliminating me. Sorry, I can't say that K word, but you can't eliminate my baby if you're not gonna eliminate me. And I'm all the things that they say, you know, society should be. So, how do y'all feel about that? Because a lot of people think that they're setting up to like eliminate our kids, and I personally don't think it's that deep. I just think Robert is not smart at all. That's all. That's I mean, I'm being honest.
I don't know what their plan is, but
yeah, I don't either. I
yeah.
mean, um, that orange man, whatever his name is, he the previous time he was elected,
He
I
opened doors for
said
people to,
I
yeah,
said that he was like a modern day Hitler then.
yeah.
Then I
Yeah.
said that, and now I'm convinced that they are on the same type of
Time.
time.
I mean, if you
So
really want to call a spade, him sending ice after the Mexican is Hitler behavior without killing
I
them.
mean, I
He
just
just hadn't went that far, you know. He
yeah.
just
Yeah,
didn't kill him, but it's Hitler
Mhm,
behavior.
mhm.
yeah.
He just decided, okay, all y'all gone. That's it.
Yeah.
So
I
I
don't
just feel
know.
like it's just like
I don't know.
scare
I don't know
tactics and
what their plan is. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what their
division,
plan
and
is,
I
but
don't
I'm
know.
not.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to say I'm not worried about it, but I am worried about
I
it.
am.
You know.
Yeah,
Um.
I think I'll worry about it because I think like, dang, when I'm older, and my
yeah,
child has to really maneuver through life, I can teach him all I know. But when I'm at the age where I can't defend him and be there, it's like, what is it going to be like
yeah,
Mhm.
for him if I'm not there? You get what I'm saying? Because it's like they can get older and be the best person in the world, but it's like those moments when it's like, damn, I can't even do what I would do 20 years ago, or I can't even, you get what
yeah,
I'm saying? So it's just like, just the future of, for them, like, what is it going to be like,
yeah.
you know?
I agree. Yeah, I
Mhm.
I agree with her. I'm like, I don't know about eliminate, but they are up to something because I just don't believe that nobody. And then I don't believe nobody. I can believe it, but I fail to believe that nobody's telling RFK like, bro, that's not right. Like, you can't be going up there saying that.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't believe. But then again, I feel like Trump's son is on the spectrum, and he may not be the nicest to him. And y'all, I don't talk about politics, but I'm gonna talk about them and this autism. But I do think Trump something is wrong. That's not the right way to say it. But I do think Trump's son may be on the spectrum and they're just not telling us. And I don't think he's nice to him or whatever. Because for the longest, he wasn't out in the public, and he's still not. We saw
Hmm.
him the day he got pledged in, or whatever y'all want to call it, the inauguration thing, and we ain't seen him since.
A
But
lot
I
of
don't know what
projection,
huh?
a lot of projection, a lot of whatever
Yeah,
he's going through. Oh, I'm going to put this out on to the world and everybody else, and because it's a power thing with him and all the rest of
yeah.
them, so
And if nobody is stopping him, that makes me feel like all of them truly feel that way about
yeah.
kids and people on the spectrum.
Listen, I've been telling people lately, this has been the era where everything and everybody's been exposed. I believe
Listen,
everything
Yeah,
a person say, or
I
you
do
say that the
too.
first time, that's how you feel.
That's how you feel.
Yeah,
yeah,
that
That's
clearly
right.
that's how you
That's
feel.
how I feel like Donald Trump don't like women. He don't like anyone of color. Anyone.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, you know, I have no. I mean, you shown it. I seen it.
Yep.
yeah,
I mean, even before you were in the position you're in, I've
yeah,
seen it over the years.
Yeah.
The stupid little shows he had.
Yeah.
I mean, I, I was never a fan. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
get it.
People are just like they're, and then with him, he opened that door where they are comfortable to feel like they can say what they want, whenever they want, how they want. In regards to people of all different races, disabilities, ages, it's sickening. It's just sickening. Like I can't stand it because it's a lot of disrespect and a
Yeah.
lot of ignorance. That's just going. It's crazy,
Well, I'm
crazy.
ignorant too because I remember I remember I should say I thought quite a few people don't let Trump get them slapped because in the grocery store, people like in the grocery stores, like people get really, really rude. And
Yeah,
like I've had people move my buggy with my baby in it, and it's like, yeah, girl, the people had to come and like literally calm me down because and it was around election time and she moved my buggy. Mind you, it wasn't in the way. And I told her don't ever touch nothing with my baby in it because I will F you up. I told her straight like that.
that's right.
And I told her, don't let Trump get you slapped in this store because I will. And she was like, wait a minute. I didn't, you did. You just didn't think I
Mhm.
was going to say anything. But don't touch
Mhm.
anything that has my child in it because you can play with me, but don't play with him. And I just feel like, as you say, it gives them the courage to do things people look at RFK as he's in a higher position. Now it's going to give them, they already say whatever they want to say about our kids
Mhm.
on the internet, like, and make
Yeah.
jokes and mockery out of it. It's just going to make it worse now. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's going to divide the community, especially the ones that really, really feel like it's from vaccines. And now we
I
about to be arguing again.
the whole
Mhm.
listen, I be so in my own world. I be having to tune them people out because I'm like, listen, I worry about me and mine.
Yeah,
Because people out here are you gonna be arguing until your face is blue with these people.
Mhm.
It's crazy, like the way that they think.
There's not enough
The
time in the world for
it's,
me
so
to
it's
to
be
do
worried
crazy.
that.
about y'all.
The way my day is set up, I my 5 minutes to myself, I be like, listen, have at it.
And that's when I have negative comments. I don't even block them no more. I just let them sit
Yeah,
there because I don't have time for that. This is what works for me and my household with
yeah,
autism. Do what works. If you don't want your child to be better, baby, sit over there and be in denial. But don't hate me because I'm doing what's best for my child.
yep.
And it's never gonna be believing he can't do certain things, that he won't ever have a job. Like it's none of those things. So yeah.
And it actually takes a lot of courage. Like we are very strong for even acknowledging that something was going on with our kids and getting them the
Yeah.
help and putting them, because that takes a lot. So I look at the parents where they like dismiss it, and it's just like, but you're judging me. But
Right.
I had the courage to make sure that my child is getting what he needs so that he can be successful in his own right in life. So how can you judge me? When you're not even
Yeah.
when you're acting like your child is not even having these issues. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. And it's like you can be denial and angry by yourself, but not with me because my baby is happy. And that's the most important thing. As long as our babies are happy. But I'm glad we had this conversation to get you all thought. I do want them to wrap this up and not give this too much more attention. It's wrap it up tonight by midnight. It's 10:59. Wrap, wrap RFK
Please
up by
rap,
tonight.
please. Him, the orange man, and all the rest
Yeah.
of them. I'm sick of it.
Like let's
Listen,
wrap
I
this
said I'm not
conversation
giving you
up.
any more screen time.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
won't get
it's
He,
like
yep.
I don't
your
want to talk
word
about that
like
no
you. I
more.
don't even say your name out of my mouth.
Yep.
Yeah, like and his I think it was his cousin. She was like he wasn't fit for the job. Like he doesn't have a medical degree. Like he doesn't have anything. Like why would Trump give him that position? But yeah, and I hope and pray that he doesn't say anything else, but he gives like he may be a narcissist, so he may do it just to kind of continue to get a reaction and be talked about because that's what they do. They like to get a reaction and then play superhero at the end of the day. And I really don't think the 6 months thing is gonna turn out how he think it is. Cause I'm hoping that somebody tells him like this ain't it. But hey.
Mhm.
So it was good chatting with you ladies. Y'all got anything else?
No.
No?
Keep on
Y'all
keeping
so
on. I don't
quiet.
know.
Them kids
Sleepy.
still
You
up.
see me? You saw me yawning. My child sleep. She
Oh,
fell
she went
asleep
to
on the
sleep.
couch. Mhm.
Mine ain't.
Mine's are up. They're both waiting for me to get in the bed, so one could be on the left and one on the right. It drives me crazy.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't know what mine is
Crazy.
waiting for.
That's
He just got his
hilarious.
tablet back for the first time this week. So he just over there staring at me and then going back to the tablet and stare.
After she was on me, she went and laid on the couch and she
Oh,
fell asleep.
that's amazing. I love that. She's so
Mhm.
sweet. So thank y'all for joining tonight. And if you are viewing this video, make sure you comment below and let us know how you feel about the comments that were made by RF Kennedy. You can't wrap it up by midnight because I probably won't post this until Tuesday or Wednesday. But after you post it, wrap it up. But let me know how you feel. Let me know how y'all feel about everything that was said. And even if you think it's an undercover motive of something being started, I want to know because I want to kind of be prepared. of what's about to come. And I know a lot of people feel like they're preparing for something with our kids. We just don't know what. So thank y'all for watching the video. Please follow these young ladies. I'm going to put their social media platforms in the description box as I usually do, and follow them and follow their journey with their kids. And most of them do have a YouTube channel, so I'll put that in the description box as well. And make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and turn your notification on so you can get a notice when all videos are up. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.